A French baguette is a really good bread and it's really influential. However, not a lot of people talk about its counterpart, the Italian ciabatta. So that's what I'm going to be showing you how to make today. So to start off, in a jar, we're going to combine 175 grams of warm water, or around 86 Fahrenheit or 30 Celsius. Going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of instant yeast and 225 grams of all-purpose flour. After we give this a good mix, make sure there's no clumps of flour left around. We're going to put a lid on and let it rest for 6 to 24 hours.
2,000 years later.
So now that our Biga has fermented or sat there for 6 to 24 hours, I let it sit for 24 hours, and at the end I put it in the fridge for a little bit of a slower ferment. We're going to take it out, give it a good sniff. It's a really, really good smell. And we also need a stand mixer at this point. So into the stand mixer, we're going to add in 180 grams of, again, warm water and 250 grams of all-purpose flour. And we're going to put this on low until combined. And after that, we're going to let it sit for 30 minutes.
Emotional damage.
After 30 minutes of resting there, into the dough, we're going to add 40 more grams of warm water, 5 grams of instant yeast, or also 2 teaspoon, 10 grams of salt, and all that biga, the dough in the jar that you made. And we're going to mix it on low for 3 minutes, and then we're going to increase the speed to high and mix for 5 more minutes. After mixing, your dough should be really, really stretchy, and don't worry if it's wet. It's fine if it's wet. Now I'm going to get an oiled bowl, and I'm going to transfer all that dough into the bowl. And you can wash the dough, drop down, and have all that stretchiness as it goes into the bowl. And now I'm going to cover it with a tea towel or something that you can use to cover it. I use a lid, and I'm going to ferment at room temperature for another 30 minutes. I let this dough sit longer than 30 minutes because I went on a bike ride. But now that I'm back, I'm gonna reach for the far side of the dough with a really, really wet hand so the dough doesn't stick to your hand. I'm gonna stretch it up and fold the dough back over. I'm gonna do it not turn it the 90 degrees. I'm gonna do it again until we've done it to all four sides. After that, we're gonna reach under the dough, lift it up, and plop it back down, kind of like a steering wheel style fold. And then we're gonna let it sit for another 30 minutes. 30 minutes later, we're gonna do the same thing as the step before. Stretch it out, fold it back over, repeat it 4 times, and then do the steering wheel style fold. Reach under, lift it up, and pop it back down. And then this time, after we finish, we're gonna let it ferment for an hour more.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
So after all this resting, the dough should be alive and it should be puffing up a lot, and there should be a lot of bubbles. So now we're gonna flour our work surface liberally, and also the dough as well, so you don't want it to stick. And now is the point where you will lose all those bubbles, or you'll keep it and it'll become a nice ciabatta. We're gonna grab a dough card, and then we're gonna unlock the dough from the bowl and let it stop sticking. And I'm going to transfer the dough to the workstation. I'm going to gently pat it into a square slab. I'm going to prepare a piece of parchment paper that's larger than your slab of ciabatta dough and also flour it liberally. Now I'm going to use something to cut the dough into 2 equal rectangles. And then we're going to quickly, in one fell swoop, transfer those 2 doughs onto the parchment paper. Over there, we're going to cut the parchment paper in half, and then we're going to cover it and let it proof at room temperature for 30 minutes. After some more proofing, it's to the point where the dough, if you lightly press it, it will bounce back up. Now I'm going to transfer everything onto the baking sheet. You will also need something to cover the baking sheet that I'll explain later. But now I'm going to preheat the oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to add a small pan or cast iron pan or baking sheet into the bottom of the oven. After the oven is done preheating, we'll put our dough into the oven, and we're going to lower the heat to 480 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, the baking pan I told you to put in the bottom, now we will add some hot water inside it, and that will create steam, which will help the dough. And then we're also going to cover the baking pan with the big turkey pan thingy I used. We will leave the pan on top of the dough for 12 minutes, and then we're going to remove the pan and we're going to continue to bake for 13 to 15 minutes or until the crust is like a golden brown color that you like.